Alright everyone, welcome back to All Wings Everything, and I am your cook Spinelli. Now today's video we're going to do Margarita Lime Wings. Now doesn't that sound good, folks? I'm telling you, man, these wings are absolutely fantastic. You guys are going to love it. So before we get started, go ahead and start preparing your margarita drinks, because once this recipe done, you're going to want that margarita drink on the side with these wings. Yes, I said wings. I'm from the South, so I said wings. So get that margarita drink ready, get in your kitchen, and let's go. Alright everyone, here are the ingredients we're going to use for today's recipe. We have our published green washed chicken. We have tequila, some white tequila. We have 2 limes, 2 lemons, 1 orange, a jalapeno pepper, kosher salt, chili powder, ground red pepper, ground black pepper, minced garlic, and honey. So these are the ingredients we're going to use, so let's move on. Alright, so I've already measured out our ingredients for this recipe. So what we have 1 cup of tequila, 2 fresh squeezed limes, we have 1 fresh squeezed orange, and 2 freshly squeezed lemons. And we have 1 jalapeno pepper chopped. Remove the seeds from the jalapeno, don't put the seeds in there. A tablespoon of garlic cloves. We have 4 teaspoons of kosher salt. We have 2 teaspoons of fresh ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a half a cup of honey. And I've also cleaned, cut, and washed my chicken, so we're good to go. So let's move on. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our marinade. So what you want to do is you want to take your tequila and pour it in an empty dish. Next, take your lime. Now add your jalapenos, your minced garlic, add your salt. Next, your chili powder, add your orange juice, your ground black pepper, your lemon juice, your ground red pepper, and lastly, add your honey. And now what we're going to do is we're going to give this mixture a good mix to combine all the ingredients. Alright, take a look at it and we'll move on. Alright, so what I've done in this part right here is I've took half of that mixture. So 1/2 I'm going to use for a marinade, and the other half I'm going to use as a sauce. I want to marinate the chicken first, and then we're going to use the sauce to sauce it. Alright, so let's move on. Alright, so what you're going to do now is you're going to take a Ziploc bag, add your chicken, and once you add your chicken, the next thing you want to do is you're going to pour your marinade into the bag over your chicken. Adjust your chicken pieces in the bag to ensure that the marinade is covering all of your chicken. And what we're going to do with this, we're going to let this marinate up to 24 hours. In this recipe, I allowed it to marinate for 24 hours, but I recommend you marinate at least for about 4 hours to get the full effects of the recipe. If you do it less than that, that's fine. But if you want the full effects, a minimum is 4 hours. But if you can, marinate it for 24 hours. Alright? And once you do that, I'll see you guys in 24 hours. Alright, so what you're going to do now is you want to go ahead and line your pan with aluminum foil. Spray your grates with cooking spray. Again, this helps with the cleanup, and it also helps your chicken from sticking onto the grate. So line your pan, spray your grates, and we'll move on. Alright, so now it has been a brand new day for me. I let this chicken marinate for 24 hours. So what you want to do now is you want to remove your chicken from your from the marinade bag and you want to pat it dry of the marinade. You have to remember the chicken has been marinating for 24 hours, so it's already absorbed that marinade, but you don't want to put it into the oven real wet like that. Pat your chicken dry of the marinade, and once you do that, we'll move on. All right, guys, so I still don't have my tongs, so what I did was I had to remove the chicken pieces with a fork, so that would have took way too long. So what I did was I already removed it, put it on my paper towels. So grab your paper, some more paper towels, and start to pat your chicken dry. And once you do that, we'll move on. As I mentioned before, guys, I still don't have my tongs. So what I did was I already placed my chicken pieces onto the pan. Again, you know how we do it. 1/2 inch to 1 inch apart, skin side down. So let's move on. All right, so now it's time to put these beauties into the oven. So I've already preheated my oven to 450 degrees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow these wings to cook for 50 minutes on one side. And then what we do, as always, we're going to, halfway through the cooking process, what we're going to do is we're going to turn those wings over and allow them to cook the remaining of the time on the other side. All right, so go ahead and set your timer, and then we'll move on. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to heat up our sauce. But first I want to show you what I did. I prepared a little cornstarch mixture by using a tablespoon of cornstarch and a tablespoon of water. What this does is this is going to thicken the sauce up for you a little bit. Now you may not have to use all of it, but I just wanted to prepare enough just in case. So go ahead, add your sauce mixture into your pan and bring it to a boil. And once you bring it to a boil, start adding your cornstarch mixture a little bit at a time. And you would be able to tell when it starts to thicken. All right, you want to continue to stir it and add as much of that mixture as you need to get the sauce thick. But don't do it. Don't get it too thick. You don't want it too thick. What we're going to do is we're going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes. And then once you do that, we're going to transfer that sauce back into an empty dish. And we're going to wait for our wings to get done. So let's move on. All right. So now what we're going to do in this step, we're about 10 minutes through the cooking process. So what you want to do now is you want to baste your wings with this sauce. So take your basting brush and just start to baste all your wings with this sauce. And once you do that, we're going to stick them back into the oven for 10 to 15 more minutes. And when we pull them out the second time, what we're going to do, we're going to flip them over and allow them to finish cooking on the other side. So go ahead and finish basting your wings and we'll move on. All right, so now we're halfway through the cooking process. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and turn our wings over to the other side to allow them to finish cooking. Forgive me, I have to use my fork because I still don't have my tongs. But I promise you in my next video, I will have my tongs. I still couldn't find them, so I got to go buy me some more. So go ahead, finish flipping all your wings over, and we'll move on. All right, so now we are halfway through the final cooking process. So we're going to baste the other side of those wings. So go ahead, take your basting brush and that sauce and start basting your wings. And once you do that, we'll move on to the next step. All right, guys, so now these wings are done. So we're going to move them over here to the counter and see what we have. Ooh, these are looking good. Let me know what you guys think. Guys, if you want to right now, you can eat these wings just like this. You don't even have to go to the final step. These are already Margarita Lemon-Lime wings. I mean, we've marinated them. We've basted both sides. You don't really have to go any further than this if you don't want to. But you know me, I like to go all the way. So go ahead and take this look, and now we're going to move on. All right, so what you're going to do now is you're going to remove your chicken pieces from the pan, add them to an empty bowl, because our last step, what we're going to do is we're going to sauce these bad babies before we invite them to our stomachs. All right, so go ahead, remove all of your wings, put them in the bowl, and we'll move on. All right, so what you want to do now in this final step is you want to take the remaining of that sauce, and you really don't have to use all of it. And I recommend you don't use all of it. I recommend you use just a little bit. Add it to your bowl. And what we're going to do now is take a lid, cover it, and do a little shake it, bake it, bake it, bake it, bake it, bake it, shake it, bake it. Remove your lid. Take a look at it. Don't they look good, guys? All right, let's move on. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to take a clean plate, transfer those wings onto the clean plate. Oh, these things are sauced really, really good. All right, once you get them on the plate, let's take a quick look at them. All right, let's move on. And voila. Oh my goodness. Margarita Lemon-Lime Wings. Guys, do I really need to say more? Come on, do I have to say more? Look at this. If someone asks you to describe heaven, you better describe these wings. Look at this. Amazing. Beautiful. And in just a minute, we're going to see how they taste. But take a look at them. Let's salivate over them for a minute. Look at that, guys. Come on. This is what I'm talking about. Good groceries. Good cooking. All right, guys. So now it's time for me to go ahead and take me a bite. So I'm going to go ahead and grab me one so I can see how these things taste, do a little quality control. Because I know some people out there follow me in this recipe and they haven't started eating. So before you pick it up, let me do the honors. And yes, these are great. Absolutely wonderful, guys. All right, guys, it's time for me to go. I need to sit down at this table, finish off these wings, and guess what? I have me a margarita right here next to me. So I'm going to eat these along with a margarita, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm out. Peace. All right, everyone. I know you enjoyed that video. Those wings were fantastic. Hands down, I can't say enough about them. I know you guys are going to enjoy them. And the people who follow me in this recipe, they probably can't even talk right now because their mouth is stuffed with these Margarita Lime Wings. So once you finish chewing, drop a comment below. And for those who will follow me in this recipe later, I want to hear from you, so drop a comment below also. And if you need the ingredients, they are in the description box below also. So if you like this video, guys, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget to tick that bell icon. That way you're notified every time I drop a video. And please share this video with your friends, your family, and your co-workers. Everybody needs a wing recipe in their life. Everybody. And until then, guys, I'm Spinelli. This is All Wings Everything, and I am out. Peace. Everybody stand up. Introducing the one and only, the most anticipated and highly underrated